What's up, guys? Your boy Hugo the Savage back again for another Raw review show. Welcome to the review. Let me just double check. Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me in the crowd? You know, like that. Can you hear me in the back? Come on. I hope everybody's well. Yeah, we're here for our weekly review of Monday Night Raw. We're here for a good time, not a long time. And yeah, big up to anyone who's coming across, anyone who's live in the chat. I mean, I say this every week, but it's because I know where most of my audience is. They're in a different country, and I know what the time scale is. So the likelihood is most of the fellow Demon Team members are in bed, but that's fine because, like I said, I put this show on for people to watch back whenever they can, whether you're in the car, the gym, whatever. We can talk about it. Big up to Trill in the chat because you're the only one there, boy. Well, big up to you, bro. This Clash at the Castle is going to be lit, and I agree, man. I think it's going to be fun. I'm not super thrilled about the card, but I'm happy about it. It's a good card. There's matches in particular I'm excited to see. There's some matches that I don't care for, but they can still put on a great show, i.e., the Judgment Day versus Rey Mysterio and Edge. I think that can be a great match. I don't particularly care for it, but I think it can be a great match. I think that's more to set the scene for a story, probably for a Dominic heel turn. It seems. Don't really care for the women's the 6-woman tag match because it doesn't mean anything right now. But this is for Raw. We'll get to that tomorrow when we do the preview and prediction show. So make sure you stick around for that. And if you're interested in being there to watch that, hit the subscribe button and put the notifications on so you can be informed. Because obviously this is the channel where the fans get to have their say. Yeah, let's kick off Raw, man. Straight off the top, obviously I'm going to review. By the time we get to the end of Raw, I will say how I feel about the whole show. But I'll say like it was enjoyable for me to watch, man. I was like, I can see the structure of Raw is changing a little bit. I can see where they've implemented loads of stuff. And listen, it's not perfect. It's not perfect by any means, actually. But the effort they've taken to change the show, you can see it, you can feel it. So I'm impressed with that. You know what I'm saying? Problem is because Vince McMahon's gone now and everyone's hoping for the big change in terms of the stories and stuff like that. People are waiting for it to go back to how it was previously, like back in the day. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not gonna get into any. I know everyone's trying to put it in the comments and that, but I'm not speaking about Clash at the Castle in this at all. I'm trying to get the Raw review done because tomorrow we've got a preview of that, so I'm not gonna put all my stuff out there now. So yeah, I'm not gonna put that on screen because they've got a whole show for that. But yeah, let's get to it. So Raw kicked off. Tell me if there's anything missing because obviously I've got a short overview of what Raw was. I watched it, but I didn't do any notes and stuff like that because I was trying to pay attention to the actual show. But I wrote down the order of the show and stuff like that. There's obviously segments in between, stuff to do with like the Miz and that, which is a reoccurring thing throughout the show, which was kind of cool. That was there. Didn't really put that in the show thingy, but obviously it was there, so we'll speak about it. So the show did kick off today with the Judgment Day defeating AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, good match, man. I'm not really a fan of. I'm normally waiting for used to Raw kicking off with promos and such, but they kicked off with a match, and it was all right. It was all right. Big up to John Conway in the chat. Big up, brother. Hope you're well, man. Yeah, it was good. It didn't mean much again. Like it feels like I keep watching AJ Styles versus the Judgment Day and all this stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Didn't mean too much. Big up, True. But the match was good. It's always good to see Dolph Ziggler back in the ring. Him and AJ make a good team, to be fair. Although I wouldn't want to see them as a tag team, but I'm starting to feel like with the younger talent being pushed through, which is how it should be anyway. I wouldn't mind if certain veterans of the game who fit together though. You have to fit together personality wise, become tag teams because I love the tag team division. It's what I grew up on. I loved it, so I wouldn't mind seeing that. But there's another tag team that I can see on the mist, which I'm thinking that's coming, and I'll explain it more tomorrow. But I'm actually excited for that. Savage, watch your Twitter. My Twitter is the same as my Savage Talk. I think it's Savage Talks Wrestling. Same. I'm all right, thank you, John. I'm doing just well, man. Thank you, brother. Mm, if you do so, should happen at WrestleMania. Yeah, that's what I said. We're gonna get to that. I'm gonna cover just the stuff on Raw drill because, like I said, I don't want to go over the same stuff tomorrow again. So, um, but yeah. So we had that match. Listen, it was all right, man. They were going well. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler and AJ seemed to have an issue with the Judgment Day. This match was good throughout. Finn Balor was actually making me laugh throughout this match. He kept mimicking AJ's moves and stuff like that, and doing the kind of feints and taunts he does, which is quite good. Key moment was the WWE official in the ring. The referee was out of place. Um, and Dolph Ziggler attempted to pin Priest, but obviously the ref wasn't paying attention, so it cost Ziggler in the way. And then Priest picked up with the South of Heaven. I have to say, yeah, that South of Heaven move, which is like a modified choke slam into a side slam, it looks dangerous when he does it, man. Like, I like the move. Like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm depending on who he's fighting against, they will make it look better. But when he lifts them up, he got the height he got on Dolph Ziggler to do that move was quite impressive, to be honest, and I was fond of it. Um, Obviously the match finished, and then there was an Edge confrontation with the Judgment Day. Um, Obviously the Judgment Day thought that Edge was outnumbered, but Edge had other plans, and Ray and Dominic returned, surprising them with kendo sticks, and then they started to go to work on the Judgment Day with the kendo stick. Now, the weirdest part about this was there was a part where, like, when he was shot back into the ring, even though Dominic had a kendo stick, he was getting beat up. Um, and then he got to where Edge, Dominic, and Ray had the upper hand, but Dominic was the one left in the ring with the kendo stick, and Rhea Ripley is the one who came face to face with him in the ring, um, which is mad. Big up Andrew, hope you're well, bro. Yeah, man, I know. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna go into the Clash at the Castle too much today, but what I will say is the seeds have been planted. I mentioned this on this channel over 6 months ago about Dominic turning on. I said Dominic turned Ray from last year. There was seeds planted later on in the show where Dominic he found out that he's not going to be in the match at Clash of the Castle. It's going to be his dad and Edge. And then his dad kind of said that, Edge's family as well, which is weird considering not so long ago, Edge was part of the Judgment Day and all of that business. Now, on top of it, planting the seeds, Dominic had this turmoil in the ring where he had the kendo stick in his hand and he didn't use it on Rhea Ripley, which one because she's a woman. But the only thing what gets me about this is I watched Rey Mysterio give Nia Jax a 619 in the Royal Rumble, and she got RKO'd and she got super kicked. So I don't understand why they can't do anything. The problem I've got with this is I've been calling this for the Dominic turn for so long that now it looks obvious. So if I was WWE, I'd do a double turn and confuse the fans because at the moment it's looking like Dominic is mad at his dad for not introducing him. Well, he's a bit upset at his dad for not putting him in the match with him. He's not hitting Rhea Ripley. I would have. This is exactly what I would do with this story because they already seem like they're going to go down that route anyway. Clash of the Castle, Dominic cost his dad an Edge, and then on Monday Night Raw, he'll come out with flipping the Judgment Day. I would have Dominic be obsessed with Rhea Ripley, like he's in love with her, and that's the reason why she's got this hold over him because she seems to have this hold over him every time. Obviously, he ended up handing the kendo stick to Rhea Ripley, which is weird. If he didn't want to hit her with it, he could have just thrown it out the ring or rolled out the ring with it and walked off. But he gave her the kendo stick. She was going to hit him, and then it took Edge and Rey Mysterio to get back in the ring to protect him, which is weird. I'm not being sexist or anything like that, but he's still a grown man, bro. Like, there's no way that it took 3 men to stand up against Rhea Ripley, and she had to get pulled out by the Judgment Day. So, there's a bit of a shambles there. But like I said, I'm not doing this to, pick holes in WWE too much. I'm trying to help them, and I know that people see these videos. I know wrestlers who see these videos as well, and I just think for storyline wise, I don't know who the creative team is. Sometimes you got to look at these things, but at the moment, it feels like there's a lot of rescuing some storylines from before Vince had retired because some of the storylines didn't make sense anyway. So you have to give him a chance to clean it up. Next after that, we had Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss and Asuka defeating local athletes, aka local competitors. Not much to say about this match. Apart from it should have been a squash match because it's a local competitors, and the local competitors didn't do too bad. Obviously, Bianca Belair showcased her talents and her strength in this match. Oscar looked good. Alexa Bliss looked good. I'm sure it's to get them prepared for the match against what are they called, damage control or some rubbish like that. The Bailey Buddies and that. I'm not excited for that match at all. It makes no sense. You've got the Raw Women's Champion in a 6-woman tag at Clash at the Castle instead of her having to fight someone one on one. It doesn't make any sense. It's just a way to get all of these ladies on the card because you can either get 2 on the card or 6, and that's why they've done it. So it doesn't really mean much to me. But they obviously beat the local competitors, so that's kind of what it is there. It's a bit silly. Thinking glitchy graphics yesterday, got others, and the theme potentially this weekend. Fun football, Clash of the Castle. Yeah, man. And I think Man City is playing as well at like the same time as I'm gonna have everything on, to be honest. And they can find the film back just to give it some time. Bro ups and downs will be fun today. Bailey. Yeah, Trill, let's leave the Clash of the Castle stuff, brother. Because I don't want to ignore your messages and that, but I'm literally trying to save that for tomorrow. I've already put the schedule up. Just click the notification bell, and then tomorrow we'll chop it up properly. But yeah, moving on from there. This was pretty good, man, because obviously we're in the hometown of Pittsburgh, and which is Kurt Angle's hometown, and it's always good to see Kurt. I'll tell you what's good to see about him this time. He was ripped. He looks very well. Obviously, he doesn't look like old Kurt Angle, but he's an older man now. But he's had so many injuries and broken necks and substance abuse and stuff like that. That when he was here last time as the general manager, and then when he was part of the Shield for a little bit, then he had his match against Baron Corbin. He looked like he couldn't move. He looked not comfortable. He didn't look very well. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing yoga or something now because he looks a lot different. But this was a fun segment. I really enjoyed watching him and Chad Gable go back and forth. I know some people are going to say it's stupid, but if anyone remembers what Angle's like back in the day, this was the kind of angle he was in, no pun intended. And people should know, if you've been on this channel for a long time, you know my thoughts on the Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan thing. I said that it should have been Chad Gable the whole time. And it's nothing to do with flipping his skin color or anything like that. His personality matches Kurt Angle's, like damn near. Their careers have took like the same path, Olympic medalists, and then into the WWE. So I just thought it makes sense for it to be him as his son. But they didn't do that. And now you get to see. I like that Chad Gable gets a chance to showcase what he's about because he's one of the most talented wrestlers in the WWE, but he really doesn't get, you know what I mean? He really doesn't get what he deserves. So there was a shoe off where they just screamed shoes after each other, which was quite funny. But yeah, kind of cool. They went back and forth, and then basically Chad Gable kind of alluded to that, you know, if he doesn't shush Otis, what we're gonna do? We're gonna beat him up. Street Profits come out. We want the smoke. Then they made a deal with each other. The deal was that if the Alpha Academy beat the Street Profits, then Kurt Angle has to join the Alpha Academy. So that was quite funny for me. I was actually hoping that the Alpha Academy was going to win because I would have loved to see Kurt Angle be in that. But dope. So from there we went into the match. Another great match. There's some good spots in this, man. That shoulder tackle that Dawkins does is incredible. He done it to Otis and knocked him over the announce table. And I was thinking the strength in it. I know that Otis has work to do there as well, but the strength in it was great. So I really like that. The tag team obviously of Street Profits gained advantage in the match, and then we had the Montez Ford frog splash, which he has to have the best frog splash in WWE history already. I'm not even joking. There's people that I love that I try to convince myself are better than him, like Eddie Guerrero and that. But honestly, this geezer's, the height he gets on his frog splash is unmatched. So I would say that he's got the dope frog splash. But sometimes it looks better than others, though. I do like when he has the impact one. He does the RVD kind of move. So I'd say between him and RVD probably. But the aftermath of this match was the Street Profits went to have their normal drinking out the cups and stuff like that. And then, yeah, Kurt Angle kind of spat the drink out, and it was quite a funny segment. And you knew once Kurt Angle said, "Hold on, wait there, let me get you a drink." You knew it was going to be milk, and that's what he got out. They shared some milk together, which sounds disgusting, but it was actual milk. And yeah, we had a nice time there. So I really like that. Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins segment was crazy. Yeah, I didn't enjoy their back and forth talking though. It was rubbish, man. And yeah, you're right about that. The Angle. I don't like Angle as a manager though, because it feels like he should be more. But and yeah, Riddle got his name back, dropping f bombs all over the place, bro. Austin and Matt Riddle. And yep, yeah, I like Austin Theory. I don't like Theory on its own. It doesn't make sense. Now, Trill, I told you that I just said to you to follow me. I've got Twitter. I've got Twitter. It's the same name as the channel, so I've got it. I don't know about massive following, bro, because I don't tweet much on there. I've got two Twitters on it, one for the wrestling channel, one for the football channel. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, moving on from there, which everyone was just talking about. So I was waiting to get to this. Obviously, we had the interview between Matt Riddle and Seth freaking Rollins intensified the rivalry sit down interview with Corey Graves, I think it was. Yeah, it was. They went back and forth, and Seth said a lot of things to get under the skin of Matt Riddle, and it felt old school. I can't lie. They're both rubbish at insults. Like they're both terrible at. Like they're both not good at insults for anything. It's weird. So yeah, I don't know about that. Um, they went back and forth. Seth Rollins said some stuff about Riddle's family, about his ex-wife and being divorced and stuff, which was kind of crazy. Um, Obviously Riddle would have had to okay that, but at the same time, I would have left that alone, man, because because obviously it was all over the internet. Um, I don't know if you want kids googling all this stuff or kids' moms and that googling about Matt Riddle's extracurricular activities with women. Um, but it is what it is. So you know it is. Um, but Riddle versus Rollins at Clash of the Castle, we know it's gonna be a masterclass wrestling match. Is it gonna mean anything? No. The last Seth Rollins matches haven't meant anything over the last year and a half, to be honest. From when he started fighting Cesaro until now, apart from one match with Roman, all the other matches have been like they've not meant anything. And I mean, he had to get that match at WrestleMania. He had to flip in. He was doing all that Vince McMahon stuff. It was weird, but yes, he agreed. Riddle versus Rollins, but yeah, gonna be very interesting. Um, Going on from there, we had the United States Championship match. Bobby Lashley versus The Miz. This was a bit funny on it because obviously, alluding to the thing with The Miz, we had the segments in this where we had The Miz and Ciampa walking out together, and then The Miz looks at the security guard and it's Dexter Loomis. Then he second takes and it's not Dexter Loomis. Now, I have to say to WWE, well done for this. You made it like you. It was very intriguing what you've done because it makes us. It's almost making us think of the perspective of The Miz because the commentators fed into it when it happened in the stadium. So he said to Ciampa like, "Yo, I thought I seen Dexter. He wasn't there." Obviously, Adam Pearce had already told him that he's been released from jail because Miz didn't press charges. It sounds like the Miz got violated. I can't lie, which is quite funny. We know that the Miz is a great actor in real life, and it so he's gonna be good in these segments. The match kicks off, and there's points in this match where the Miz looks at like the barricade when he's close to it and gets scared and runs back into the ring because he's frightened and he's having flashbacks of what's already happened to him. And then there comes a part in this match where the Miz looks to. I think what happens actually is because there's a part where Ciampa gives Miz the trading card with Ciampa's face on it to hit him. The referee finds out that what he's doing there, and the Ciampa comes in and hits Bobby Lashley. Then we get the Miz hitting the score crusher finale. It looks like he's actually going to win, um, but then when he looks to the crowd, it's Dexter Loomis standing there on the stairs. Now it's weird. I don't know. I don't know what went on here. I don't know if they shot this already and then used it separately, or that was really happening because the crowd started making noise looking towards Dexter Loomis. The Miz started looking towards Dexter Loomis almost like he saw a ghost. But then on commentary, they were saying, I don't know what the Miz is looking at. There's nobody there. And obviously, you can't get the crowd to get in on what you're doing because they're the crowd in it there. So I don't know what happened there, but it was cool. Obviously, he got distracted. And then, yeah, locked in the hurt lock and he was never getting out and he was forced to tap out of that. So um, the Dexter Loomis thing could be really good from WWE if they do it properly. Obviously, we saw after that when the Miz got in his car, Dexter Loomis was in the back. Now I hope they don't mess this up, and then when they come back next week, it's something completely different. But yeah, epic session. Oh yeah, I'm gonna speak on this very soon. They're making the Miz too crazy. I don't mind, man. The Miz, I like the Miz. He puts it all out there for the company. Like he's really good. The only problem I have is I want him to get something from it in the end, not just put people over. So next on the list we have Kevin Owens confronting the Usos and Sami Zayn, who were in the ring. I liked it. I liked it. You seen the Sami trying to stand up to KO, but not convincingly, not with any confidence. Um, and then Jay kind of lost his damn mind and said, like, yo, listen, get back up that ramp before I drop you. Kevin Owens didn't, got in the ring. And then KO kind of said, like, listen, this is the part of the promo where we start swinging it out. So should we just get a ref down here and fight? They did. Impromptu match between Kevin Owens and main event Jay. And the Usos, man, it was great. It was a good match, man. Like, Kevin Owens don't put on bad matches, and neither did the Usos. So I was always going to be confident how good this match was. Now, it comes a part in the match where the Usos instruct Sami to get a chair because the ref is distracted and KO. Well, the ref isn't distracted at the time, but Jimmy's gonna distract the ref. KO's hanging over the rope, almost in like a 619 position, and Sami's on the outside. So they want him to get the chair, hit him in the head. He gets the chair after deliberating for a while, and then when he gets it, he's standing there to hit him in the head, and he won't do it. And obviously, by the time it takes it long enough, the ref turns around and sees what he's doing. Now, obviously, it's because he doesn't want to hit Kevin because it's his best friend and they've been through too much and stuff like that. So he was almost doing it on purpose, waiting so the ref would see him. What this done though was distract. And then when Jay turned around, Stone Cold Stunner, and Jay got pinned. And Sami tried to get in the ring at the end of the pin, but didn't make it. Now, the seeds didn't really need to be planted for me when it comes to Sami Zayn and the bloodline, because at some point it's gonna run its course on it. Big up Anna. Love Anna. Love. The Miz and Loomis stuff is leading to a swerve. Yeah, could do. Man, you think Karen Cross is gonna be the guy to defeat Roman Reigns? I don't know. I'll speak about that properly tomorrow when I do the prediction show, man. Big up Zen. But yeah, back to this. You can see that the problem with the bloodline and Sami will be in the end. It won't be Roman and Sami. It will be Sami and Jay. Eventually, they're gonna come head to head, and I don't know if it's gonna end in eventually like Sami doing some kind of setup to get himself in a match with him and Kevin Owens taking on the Usos and winning them titles. Um, should it be the way? I don't know. I'm always saying that I'm not a fan of people getting thrown together, but these two, Sami Zayn and Kevin, isn't being thrown together. This is a history. They've been around each other before WWE times, from Kevin Steen days, so it makes perfect sense. Only problem I have is I don't understand what they're doing with KO's character, because he comes out last week, says the prize fighter's back, but he hasn't done anything for us to like him as a babyface yet. But it seems like he's going down that route, because that's what will happen. Sami will be a babyface. He will end up being a babyface, take on the Usos. But the last thing we saw when you brought the KO show back was you destroyed Ezekiel. You destroyed him, and to put him out of action. So why should we like you? That's where we go from there. But that's just storytelling 101, to be honest. But I do think that's what's going to happen in the future. I can see it. Because I don't know if everyone has the same feeling as me, where they think that when Roman loses titles, the Usos will lose theirs on the same day. Or do you think it's going to be one loses one first and then the next pay-per-view? Because if they're smart, I would have Roman lose first and then him being wound up by the fact that the Usos have gold around them. So we'll see what happens there. But very interesting. I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens or DIY will end the Usos title reign. I don't want to see DIY again, bro. I love them for what they were, but these two are too good as singles. Usos are different because they're, you know what I mean, and Kevin Owens and Sami is a little bit different, but DIY, yeah, I don't want to see that. I would prefer an actual tag team to take the titles off the Usos, but they fought the Street Profits in that so many times now that by the time it comes around to that, it's a bit meh. So don't know. I'm guessing after Clash of the Castle, there's probably going to be another draft, even though it doesn't seem to matter at the moment. Because while people are undisputed champions, brand split doesn't matter for those people. So the Bloodlines will crumble at Mania. Have KO Sami win the titles. Cody different reigns. I agree that it should end at Mania. Why would you do it at any other time? I agree that it should end at Mania. The weirdest thing is, without being, I think that the belts, the way Roman should lose them belts, is they should get split up. I think they should get split. The belts should get split up. I mean, if you want to go big on it, you'd have Roman. I don't know. You can either have Roman relinquish one of the titles, or you can have Roman lose both titles on one night, but separate, so 2 matches, because he thinks he's above everyone. God mode. I'll fight someone at the beginning, I'll fight someone at the end of the show, and do it like that. Obviously, I think everyone's under the same pretension that they want Cody to win Royal Rumble and go on. But I don't know what it is about Cody and Roman. It doesn't. The characters don't fit in terms of like. I'm not saying Cody's not a great wrestler, but for me, it doesn't look like it's not. Right now, it's not believable for me for Cody to be the one to take the belt off Roman. If he never had his injury, he would have had months and months of wrestling matches. But so far, we just got to see him fight like 2 matches on Raw and then fight Seth Rollins. I would have one. I would literally have Triple H say to Roman, "Listen, we can't keep having you having time off and doing all of this business. Blah 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 blah." Roman's like, "I'm head of the table. You're not telling me anything. Just relinquish the WWE Championship, out of relevancy and all that business. Whoever wins that, because I would prefer that if Seth and Cody do one more time next year at Mania, it's got a story there. It would prefer that Seth goes in there as champion and then Cody wins the belt off Seth. I feel like there's other things for Roman, like carrying Cross, and that it makes more sense, but who knows, man? Give face. Yeah, literally, that's what I said. I know they need to fix up on the KO part being babyface though. I think the way to do it would be the Usos, well, Jay bullying Sami. So at the moment, it's all fun and games, and Roman's on Sami's side, and Jimmy's kind of like on Sami's side. But have it to the fact where he does something where they end up putting hands on him, and then KO comes to his rescue. That way, the fans will get, because Sami Zayn's so hot at the moment that as soon as anyone does anything to Sami, whoever saves him will be automatically babyface and over. And I think that works with KO. So I'll go for that. Phil Drew beat Roman, drops Cross, and then see, it's a bit. I do get what you're saying, but if you think of the time scale, that's a load of short title reigns. It means that we've got September, so 3 months left of the year, and then next year April for 7 months. So 3 different titles, 3 different champions within 7 months. I don't know. I have to say, I'm not a fan of this whole like Drew McIntyre winning against Roman. I'm just not a fan of it. I'm not interested in it at all. Makes no sense. Drew for the last year has not been in a great position. In fact, for about 6 months of the year, he was fighting against Jinder and Shanky and Cranky, bro, and Shanky and Stanky and all that. So I'm not interested in it. But we'll see. I don't think so either. Roman shouldn't lose both belts at the same time. Should be you want both. Beat me twice. Yeah, I agree. I think he holds on to that Universal title 100% till WrestleMania. I don't know about the other one, but I think the Universal title, because if they do a brand split after Clash at the Castle, then that's when Triple H steps in and says, "Listen, we got no problem with you being the undisputed champion. You've earned it, but you have to be willing to defend them titles on Raw and SmackDown." And then I would have Roman. I'd have Roman go against Authority, and when they're waiting for him to turn up week in and week out, he's not turning up. He's turning up on SmackDown, but for Raw, he's just not doing it, to the point where they give him an ultimatum, and then he has to give up the title. I know I'm saying that a bit as a massive Roman fan, but like for me, his reign has been so great that I can't have him losing his titles in stupid ways. Good champion for final matchup, man. I mean, I don't know what's the point. There's nothing on the line. I've seen them fight in NXT. They main evented 3 takeovers, and then it's too much for me. Yeah, and they've definitely got time. The problem is I know they've got time, I'm just not sure if they end up doing something at Clash of the Castle and it's so soon. I would leave it alone. Plant more seeds there. You know what I mean? But don't do anything else. If I was booking, I'd have Rollins main event both nights. Rhodes and The Rock. I don't know about The Rock, you know. I don't know about that. I just don't know if it's. I don't know. If have Drew win, they should have Paul Heyman rig the contract so he only wins the WWE Championship. That's Alexander. That's a good idea. That I really dig that idea. That's dope. I can't lie, bro. I just don't want Drew as champion. I don't want it. Yeah, Cross as champion one day. Perfect. Cross doesn't even need the belt. Just have him be the pain main event scene match, but just interfering in other people's match. Yeah, putting people to sleep again, Anna. That's what I want to see him doing. Putting people to sleep. In fact, it would be perfect if Roman Reigns, when he gets on the mic one of the times, just says like, "Listen, you're new to the scene. We don't even know who you are. Last time we saw you, you was wearing an OnlyFans suit, and now all of a sudden you're turning up with your black and white flipping entrance and your timer talking about TikTok. Well, get to the back of the line. You're at the back, and then when he says you're at the back, every person in front of him on that line, week by week, just have him choke him out. So there's no one for, and then if it leads to a main event, to a pay-per-view, there's no one left for Roman to face. Because let's be honest, Roman's he's literally beat everyone already. So he's on the way back round now on the second cycle. And that's not an exaggeration when I say he's beat everyone. He's beaten everyone, bro. Like, everyone. There's no one left. It's only Karrion who he hasn't fought. There's no one left, so I'm here for it. What's tag? Return. I've got an idea for that, man. Rumors saying no rumors. I'm not gonna read it. Read the bottom of the screen, bro. Do you not win pay-per-view was booked? So Reigns has to retain here. Read the whole that Clash of the change title trying to set up big screen just feels cheap. Yeah. Roman Reigns faces The Rock. There shouldn't be any titles involved. Enough me left on the head of the table storyline. That's what I said, Anna. I said that The Rock. I always said that whenever there's whatever pay-per-view for The Rock and Reigns, man, I think it should be based on just the fact that that family, head of the table. I'm not joking. Obviously, it's hard for me to say this, and you see behind me, The Rock's my favorite wrestler of all time. But for business and for storyline purposes, you'd have Reigns win on it. Because The Rock's in this place now where you never know. He's retired, but he's not retired in it. So I would have the Usos take him out. Like, I'm on about that whole family setting. No, have The Rock win the match, but Roman takes him out completely. Obviously, you're going to have to do it in a certain way. The man's an actor. He can't afford to be, whatever. But have it done in a certain way where they take him out and he just doesn't return again. That way, Roman can just hang on to being head of the table. Or it can go the other way and the Usos can start losing respect for him for doing whatever to The Rock. They can, when The Rock turns up, they can all of a sudden be asking for movie roles and want to be around The Rock all the time, big cousin and all this stuff. So there's so much they can do there. I don't know. I honestly don't know what they're going to do with Alexa because this tag thing is ridiculous. But let me move on because I've neglected Raw now. But yeah, so move on from there. Final match on the card: Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah defeat Dakota Kai and Io Sky to become the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And I have to say, I know there's not going to be an agreement in the chat. It's fine. Everyone's got their opinions. Apart from the fact that I think it's early for Dakota and Io to be losing matches. I do think this is the right decision, but I have to tell you the reason why first. I have to tell you the reason why. You don't want Io and Dakota Kai being the tag team champions that have it for 2 weeks and then lose it. It's not worth it. I feel like because Raquel, especially Aaliyah, they've not been on SmackDown for. Actually, Leah's been there a bit longer, but Raquel's not been on SmackDown for that long. I would have personally, and I don't know if they're going to do this. I don't know if they're going to surprise us. I don't know if they can fit it into Clash at the Castle. But I'm convinced that Triple H would have already spoke behind the scenes. I would definitely have Naomi and Sasha return at Clash of the Castle. Let the ladies say, like, listen, we've won the titles and you ain't even put us on the Clash of the Castle card. and then let that music go off, man. Let that Sasha Banks and the Feel the Glow music go off. Let the crowd go crazy, and let them win their titles back. Yes, it's a bit sad on Raquel and Aaliyah that flipping they're going to be champions for, I don't know, a week. But you have to look at it this way. Number one, Naomi and Sasha never lost their belts. They were, you know what I mean? They walked out, gave the belts away. So they're going to say that you never beat the champions, whatever, all that business. They want to be smart and be fair to Raquel and Aaliyah. And if this happens, they've ripped me off, innit? Have Sasha and Naomi or Raquel and Aaliyah say on the mic at Clash of the Castle, listen, we're in the UK, want to put a show on for you guys. We need opponents to fight. Let their music go off. Naomi and Sasha. We let them win the match, Naomi and Sasha. But the match wasn't authorized properly because you can't, as a contestant, pick a match. That way, the match has to be redone. They have to fight again. So the belt is kind of like the belts kind of go back to being vacated because you lost to Naomi and Sasha, but you kind of didn't. You know, the match wasn't legal. Then the next pay-per-view, ladder match, Raquel and Aaliyah versus Naomi and Sasha Banks, and then Naomi and Sasha Banks win the ladder match, and they are the champions. Simple as, bro. Simple as. There you go, WWE job for you. You know, like that. Come on. In my opinion, winning the decision, traditional champion. Oh, mate, that's exact. Like, we're thinking the same, bro. We're thinking the same. Reigns has to be Rollins, Lashley, Cross, Gargano, Gunther, Rhodes, and The Rock. Why those particular people? I don't think Gargano should be in that, to be honest. I think he should be going. I don't think Gargano or Gunther should be in there. Both of them. Gunther's Intercontinental Champion at the moment. He's gonna beat Sheamus. Gargano's just come back. He shouldn't even be in any title picture at the moment. The Rock, yeah, The Rock's has got storyline there. Lashley, US champion. Rollins is beating him already. Rhodes, if Rhodes comes back and earns something. If he comes back and just wants a match, that can't work. But yeah, we'll see. Realize how the EOS. Yeah, I kind of don't like it because they haven't even explained to the casual fans who Dakota Kai is. So she's looking like a dickhead at the moment. I have to say, when they came back at SummerSlam, I thought when they came out, obviously I figured it out pretty fast, but I thought when they came out that the three women were just returning. That's it. I didn't know they were a group. I wasn't a fan of them being a group together. Even if they had Dakota Kai and Io as a group and left Bayley separate, because they're going to bring each other down in certain ways, man. Like, we had Bayley win last week against Aaliyah, but this week Aaliyah gets the pin for the championship, so it kind of doesn't work out. They should have Drew brought the win by Bray shows up like it did in that. I think this is what everyone's expecting, to be honest, which I'm not going to go into until tomorrow, but I think everyone's expecting Roman to win or Bray to turn up and cost Roman the match. Can I just say welcome back, Matt Riddle, Triple H. Now give Pete. Anna, I've spoke to him and I'm going to leave it there. But, you know what I'm saying? Should not be champs, just lose them to Session. Yeah, that's exactly. That's why it should be the other way. But yeah, they won the championship, man, and that was obviously the main event of the card. Ended in a roll up from Aaliyah. It was a little bit botched, to be honest. You can even tell for the commentary, but I don't want to be like overly negative about it. It was a good moment for Raquel and Aaliyah. But let's be honest, both of them never set out to be tag team champions. This was forced upon them. So them losing the titles won't be them getting buried, because before the tournament, you weren't a tag team. You know what I'm saying? And that tournament's only been on for 3-4 weeks now. So I don't think it's a big deal, that kind of thing happening. And it makes more sense them being transitional champions. I don't think it hurts them compared to Io and Dakota. Definitely hurts them if they're transitional champions. You don't want that problem. So, but for now, they are in the record books as women's tag team champions, and there hasn't been that many of them. So I have to say, well done to them. They're only going to get better, to be honest. Io being Raw women's. It's funny, yeah, Epic Gamer, because I can't see her being champion at all. Like, I don't know why. It's going to be Gigi Dawn and Jessalyn for Raquel and Liz versus Sasha. and they'll win the titles. That's my bet. It's a good idea. Looking forward to seeing P in his old gear. But hey, man. Listen, like I said to Anna, I spoke to him, and what I will say is this is 100% fact. Triple H's favorite wrestler in the WWE is Pete Dunne. That's it. Like, that's all I'm saying. So that's it. It sounds like review. Who's gonna defeat Bianca? Someone's gonna have to build himself up in it. Rollins never beaten by Ray in a pay-per-view. Lashley one-on-ones. Rollins never beaten by Ray. Yeah, I know. That everyone forgets that match what they had last time ended in a disqualification. Technically, Seth won. Lashley one-on-one Reigns. Yeah, but what I'm saying is truly they've got all these people you put down. The two of them have got titles at the moment. They're not going to do that. At the moment, Gunther doesn't even. I don't even think he spoke to Reigns on a show. And Bobby Lashley's on the other roster at the moment, so I don't know. They've got time to build a cross thing though. Like this is the thing I will say with wrestling fans and that. Like, there's no need to rush. Now that like Triple H at the helm and everyone's comfy and starting to enjoy Raw and stuff now, this is how you start feeding stories in. Like, storylines back in the day had like 6 months, massive builds. Minimum was like 3 months, nothing less than that. But the ones what we've had over the last couple of years have been 2 weeks build, pay-per-view, and it's over. Let's start building stuff up properly. And to be fair to Cross, the way him and Scarlett are, they build stuff perfectly anyway. I saw that on NXT, so I'm here for that. Jade Cargill should be in WWE. She was. She was in a performance center. She left. I don't even think she made it through. That was when she was like came in as a personal trainer in it, but she has to work on herself as well. She's one of my favorites on AEW, but she's nowhere near perfect. Like most of the women on the WWE roster are better than her, but she just looks great. She looks the part. But The Rock is the real head of the table. The Rock's my guy, man. The only thing is, Roman's gonna have arguments for that, man, because he's just gonna say like, you saw what's happened with the Usos and stuff like that since Roman's been there. So turn heel and then maybe a Royal Rumble. It's a good shout. Who knows, man? Sasha Banks and Naomi might come back as heels, bro. Otis is a legit threat. Yeah, he is a badass, man. Me personally, I think Drew is going to lose to Roman and cross Extreme Rules. So maybe see Drew go heel. Does anyone actually want to see Drew as a heel? Savage to have the Bruiserweight Backlash called perfect. He's not. Massive UK show. I want to down crowd. Pissed. Yeah, and I said this a few. When they first. Let me just. I'll give you this insight. Yeah. What year was it now? The year before the pandemic, 2019. We done WrestleMania main event, one live show, and then I was personal training at Pure Gym, and me and Pete was having a conversation in there because at the time he was still living between England and the USA because obviously he had a baby and stuff like that. And I said to him like, "Are you gonna move over there permanently?" And he didn't want to. He said to me he didn't want to move over there permanently. He said he wants to focus on putting the UK on the map in terms of wrestling and stuff like that. So I said to him, like, you might have to do it from America though, because it feels like NXT UK is not going to take off, which it didn't, and it's gone. And he said that that's his aim though, and he said to bring a pay-per-view back here and be on that roster or main event it, because by now, without the pandemic and stuff, I'm expect Pete should have been Intercontinental champion by now, and it stunted his growth a little bit, and I feel like people don't know how good he is because they've done that thing with him. He was perfect as the Bruiserweight. Then once they changed his character and put him with Pat McAfee and Oney Larkin and them, man, from that point, and it's not that worked, but he's too good. And from that point, it's been off. He always showcases himself in war games and stuff, but it's not good enough. But yeah, I would hate for him to. Only time he gets UK love is when he has like WWE live events, because that's just a normal house show. He's always going to get loved there, especially in the city. But yeah, HUGO is AEW, and Cargill is AEW. So what? I'm so confused, bro. Just wondering, is anybody not being into AEW at the moment? I've been really enjoying WWE, looking forward to what happens in NXT, but AEW, there has been nothing that has appealed to me before. The truth about AEW is I think something's going on now. I think something's happening because there seems to be disharmony in their camp and things ain't making sense. I don't know if anyone's seen that Moxley versus CM Punk match. I don't care if the storyline, it was a storyline where CM Punk hurt his leg. That match was the quickest match I've seen, bro. Like, they shouldn't have gave it to people on Dynamite in the first place. And then once you did, you got people to buy tickets, build up, and then first of all, you don't even make it the main event. Second of all, the match lasts about 3 minutes. It's trash. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? So, Tony Khan has to go back to the drawing board a little bit. There was no need. They don't need to rush, man. Their company's been there since 2020, October 2020, or October 2019. There's not really. It's 2 years, bro. They're trying to get WWE trajectory in 2 years instead of just focusing on your brand and making it unique to you. And their wrestlers are still mentioned in WWE in every promo, bro. And obviously, don't get me wrong, it's usually the wrestlers who have been at WWE, but still, you do realize you're just sending people to watch WWE. Like, if you're AEW faithful, I mean, the chances are that there's no way you're watching AEW and never watched WWE. That's weird. But if you happen to be that guy or a casual, and somebody starts mentioning these wrestlers, well, the first thing you're gonna do is Stamford, Connecticut, down the road. Wonder what they're talking about. Google. Oh yeah, WWE headquarters. Let's check out this WWE brand. And then they watch it and they're like, this ain't too bad. That's not the way to go, man. You gotta focus on your own brand. I know that, like, I know what the AEW faithful are like on Twitter and that, but let's be honest, then they get so hostile and aggressive about stuff, but they wouldn't do that to my face and that. So I don't really give a shit how they feel because I like AEW in it. Like, I'm a fan of both. For me, it's not close though in terms of which one's better for me. WWE is, but AEW is focused on their wrestling matches, and there's nothing wrong with that. Apart from wrestling matches are predetermined, so you can focus on it all you like, but we know the truth. So you need to sort your storylines out. Hey, so big up Ethan. What do you think? Bray Wyatt return. I would say Clash at the Castle, but Bray Wyatt is very creative, and I don't know if he's gonna go with that. I don't know. I think Cross and Reigns at Survivor Series, to be honest. November. Maybe. Although, yeah, I'm okay with that because I actually want it to go back to old Survivor Series. I don't like the champion versus champion thing. It's so stupid, man. Like, so it'd be Gunther versus Bobby Lashley, which would be a good match, by the way. Bianca versus Liv Morgan. Okay. Because they're not really repping their brand anymore. So what's the point? It works when it's like World Team SmackDown, F Raw, and all this business. But at the moment, they're all on each other's brand. So, yeah, it's probably better like that. Pete Dunne is my favorite, and it's the UK run, top tier stuff. When he turns on Sheamus and like, yeah, it's easy to get him to turn as well because he's so unhinged all the time anyway. It's way better. Then we'll see Sami Guevara tweet saying he's got a lot to say in his chest sometime today. So it'll be interesting. Tony Khan should be worried he's getting out of control. Yep. Yeah, especially with what's going on with Eddie Kingston and them as well. I saw the tweet. It's gonna be interesting. I remember being really happy when Pete Dunne came out as UK champion on Raw years ago. Yeah, and he beat up he had a match against Enzo in it. Seeing one of those West Midlands in the big leagues still like now when I see him. I love him, man. Even though I talked to him and that, I love seeing him on the card. It's not representation just because he's from the West Midlands, but he's great at what he does, and I love it. And I think he deserves more, to be honest. But like I said, Triple H loves him, so I'm sure that whether it happens now or later on, And then another thing is, if the success of this Clash of the Castle works, then surely they just make it a yearly thing where they come to the UK. And then you can lower the ticket price as well because they were ridiculous. I prefer Bray to. Yeah, me too. Big up Khalid. Raw was good last night. Yep, I think Dominic Mysterio joined Judgment Day. Yeah, I said have him fall in love with Rhea Ripley, man. Let's be honest, man. Everyone knows some man or boy out there who's obsessed with a girl who's a bit aggressive. Like, everyone knows that. So, who do you think Carrion will face at Wrestle? It's too soon to be talking about Carrion at WrestleMania. 7 months away. he's not even been fighting anyone on this roster yet. So let's see what happens at the Royal Rumble and stuff first before. I won't even entertain anything to do with him at WrestleMania right now because he's not done anything on the roster. But everyone's got to remember one thing as well. Just because he's saying TikTok to Roman and that, him and Scarlett, that doesn't mean TikTok Roman, I'm taking your title within a month. That could be anytime. He could go and fight. By the time he gets to WrestleMania, Gunther, if he's still champion, would have had this belt for 9 months in it, which is a good reign. And you need somebody massive to beat him because he's Gunther. Karen is the only man, and to be fair, Sheamus as well. There's not very many men on the roster believable that can beat him. So why not have Karrion go for that title first? There's always this need to rush people towards the main title, and it always fails, bro. Like we end up with champions who are transitional. So I don't know. Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Bianca Belair's heels versus Toxic Attraction. That's fate. The only problem you got there is one team is way better than the other team, and I'm talking about way better. And I love Toxic Attraction, but there's a reason why they look so great on NXT. Sasha Banks, Naomi, and you're talking about some of the best wrestlers in the world there. I don't know. I think Randy's gonna return and cost Seth his match against Riddle. Yeah, I don't know much about Randy's injury, to be fair, so that could be true. Oh, yeah. I'm here for that, man. Their last match was incredible. Which I love. Bray return Saturday, maybe at Survivor Series. Yeah, Anna said the same thing. Yeah, I'm here for that as well, man. I don't want them to rush Bray back, man. If it's signed up behind the scenes and it's all done, and you've got no worries about him going anywhere else, then let him take his time. I would tell Bray, you've signed a contract now. These are the dates that we want you to return or whatever, and then give everything to Bray then. Let him plant the seeds, innit? Let him plant the seeds. We'll see what happens, though. I feel like they should put Cross against Bobby instead of the main event. The main event of what? Just asking. The main event of what? But Bobby versus Karrion's good. The only problem is one of them. That's the Hurt Lock versus the site. Hey, listen, to be fair, it's not a bad idea. I thought Orton. Yeah, that's what I thought as well, Anna. I haven't checked up on it, but I think that's his. February want to return and random episode of Raw in an episode of Firefly Funhouse. Am I the only one? I'm gonna say this on it, and I'm a massive fan, but am I the only one who just wants Bray Wyatt to come back? I don't really. I want the fun. I like the Funhouse, but I don't need the Fiend. I don't need him. In fact, the last time we saw the Fiend. Hold on, am I correct in this? Didn't the Fiend lost to Randy at WrestleMania because Alexa controlled him when she came out of that toy box? Then the day after on the Raw After Mania, I think we done a live stream to that. Bray Wyatt done the Firefly Funhouse when he was talking about things are going to change and this is a new me and all that. So we never seen the Fiend again in it. So the Fiend doesn't need to come back. Bring back the Funhouse and they can just say the Fiend's dead, the Fiend's gone. And then we can bring back the Fiend later on if it calls for it. But I think the supernatural stuff can ruin things in wrestling nowadays. That's what happened with Matt Hardy's character as well. Once he got to AEW, broken Matt Hardy, and he started to teleport through the stadium. Fair enough to them, it was empty and it was locked down, so we tried to do something fun. But once he started teleporting, look, his character just changed straight away. Yeah, definitely built suspense. Going versus Montez Ford. Nah. Montez is dope though, but don't we need to change you up? Listen, Anna, my favorite Bray is Eater of Worlds, man. That is my guy. Cuts the most incredible promos, had all these backstage stuff. Listen, just let the Fiend come back. I don't care if you want to bring back a new Wyatt family, to be honest, bro. Yeah, I mean, have the Cult of Wyndham or whatever you want to do. Just, you know what? Go speak to Elias on it. Get Elias on your team and all of that, bro. I'm here for it. Bray and Alexa versus Cross and Scarlett. Oh, no. I don't even know if we're going to see Scarlett ever wrestle in the WWE, to be fair. I don't know if she's just going to take her OnlyFans pictures and be his manager. She can wrestle, though. I've seen her. I've watched her live on the indie circuit. She can wrestle. I want to see him return with a new character, Savage. I don't need a new character. I just need Bray Wyatt. I just need Bray Wyatt. Being lost to all in WrestleMania 37. Yeah, that's what I just said. They need to bring back R-Truth to spot, maybe with something like Jimmy. I said bring. Yeah, I agree with you. Bring Jimmy back. I just feel like Vince butchered the Fiend. Say Triple H won't let Bray do his magic. Okay, I'm not saying that you're not right 100%, but yeah, you know what, you are right. But the Fiend lost its magic after losing to Goldberg. That was ages before. That was ages before he actually got released. Follow the buzzards. Come on. No rumors. When I don't know. The women's division's a bit mad for me right now. They've got the talent. They've got the numbers again. But storyline wise, in it, because I think we're still like we're leaning towards a full heel turn from Liv. But the only problem is I feel like there's a lot of heels on the roster. I think I'm correct in saying that, because obviously she's going to fight Shayna Baszler at Clash of the Castle. Shayna's a heel. Ronda's a heel. Unless Charlotte comes back as a babyface, that's the only thing I can think of. Probably going to be Charlotte, man. Let's be honest, bro. And I love Charlotte, but that's probably what they're going to do. Who knows, actually? I don't know. Charlotte hasn't been there with Triple H being the boss, to be fair, so we'll see. I think Bray Wyatt should come back at the Year of World until he faces someone he knows would be like Karen Cross. Yep, Year of World is the one I'll go with every time, man. I suppose, though, if he does come back with Funhouse Bray, but leaves the Fiend out, the first person he can have on the wall to take out is Roman, because Roman started the whole down. You can have Roman say that Roman started the whole downturn for the Fiend, even though it wasn't Roman. But you're like, you beat me after I've beat Braun Strowman. You signed a contract halfway down the ramp, and you come in a couple spears, and you know what I mean, and you ruined everything for me. Remember when the Fiend first? Remember when the Funhouse Bray first came in? He was just taking out Kurt Angle and Mick Foley and Jerry the King Lawler and that, bro. And they all had done stuff to him in the past, so. Are you doing predictions Thursday? Candid, look on the channel. I've already put the schedule up, bro. It's tomorrow. Rise if he's Morgan at Stream Rules of Fear. Yeah, probably. I think Charlotte returns to win the Royal Rumble. First woman to win 2. She challenged for the NXT title last time, so this time she has Bianca at WrestleMania. It's boring. It's like she's my favorite wrestler, but it's boring. It's boring to just return at Royal Rumble and then challenge that quick. It's like I want stories for everything now, and Charlotte looks like she's ready to come back. To be fair, I know everyone thinks that she left. Well, she was in the strop because she lost the title. No, she got married. She went on a honeymoon. She's relaxing, giving time. Some of these people have time off in it, have time to rewrite the character and that. So I'm here for it, man. Wyatt got no. Eric Rowan, Strowman, Brody Lee. Bro, the Wyatt family is the family. Like, they can bring anyone in for all we know. Remember, the Wyatt family wasn't supposed to be like real brothers and real sisters. It was a cult that Bray Wyatt had said that he was gonna. You know what I mean? He called them his children and stuff like that. So we can get anyone, and as long as they're good, that's why I said Elias fits the thing. Get your brother, get Bo Dallas in. He fits it. You don't have to treat it the same as the other thingy Wyatt family, but. Bray, Alexa wasn't it for me. Vince pushed Alexa into that storyline. Was never a Bray thing. I never thought being with him in the first place. It was beginning of it. Yeah, it was. I'll say though, I didn't hate it when she was in the funhouse at the beginning. It's when the supernatural stuff came that I didn't like. When she started to like, do you remember she had that match with Oscar and then the lights changed and then all of a sudden she had makeup on and it was like DDT was over. I mean, everyone forgets about that. She's a tag team with Oscar now, but not so long ago. That's what was happening. So Bray Wyatt should be rewarded. He doesn't need to be a Fiend unless Fred Forever wins. I think you should sack it off. Like the Finn Balor sacked off the Demon. Just sack it off, man. It's not needed. It's 2022. Like, if Undertaker came back and done the dead man thing, we would all be behind it because we've grown up on it and it's been years. If Kane came back and put his mask on and decided that we'll be behind it. Anyone else is like, times have moved on, man. And at this point, what's the point when, like, I'm going to expect him to put the theme. I mean, to be fair to Bray Wyatt, he's one who sticks to the craft, but said, like, put the demon paint on if you Finn Balor, and then when I get home and I check your Instagram, you're smiling with your missus. I'm just not here for it. Should we talk about soon and brought Ember Moon back with a light to see it SmackDown? I don't know how I feel about Ember Moon. I've always been like this. I really liked her on NXT, but as soon as she touched the main roster, I wasn't interested. I think it's this thing where, like, even though I know stuff, I don't like when they introduce new people onto the roster and they don't explain anything. They don't explain who they are. They don't explain what their background is. They just expect us to know. Beating Lynch, Bailey, Sasha. She needs to beat Flair. Yeah, possibly. Alexa should win the Royal Rumble and then run it back with Bianca. Chat. Okay, bro, we'll join you tomorrow. Big up, bro. I want to see Shayna lose to Liv and then run in for start run the Shayna feud and them. Yeah, Anna, this is probably the best comment I've heard on these two. That's what needs to happen, to be honest. They've already planted the seeds for it as well. Lynch versus Rousey and Belair versus Flair, WrestleMania 39. I say no. No. I don't. It probably, to be fair, it probably happened, but I don't want to see Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. They both kind of annoy me, to be honest. I'll give it to Lynch that she's done some of her best work in the last year, but still, she annoys the hell out of me. But it makes sense, she's a babyface now. And then the Belair and Flair one, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be weird when Charlotte comes back, because she either goes full, because obviously since Charlotte's gone, Ronda's heel, and now it's like you're not going to do heel versus heel. I feel like she either comes back as a babyface, cuts one of the promos and that, or she doubles down on the heelness and comes back and does it from there. But you've done that one already. I don't blame you either. It will be his favorite character. Oh, he's incredible. Keep the thingy, the Bray Lantern face, but yeah, agreed. All right, guys, done an hour now. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Because I've got so much work to do. Got some more reactions to do on HUGO Online. So if anyone is subscribed to HUGO Online, head over there, subscribe, and like the video. We'll be back tomorrow with the prediction and preview for Clash of the Castle. And then we got the watch along on Saturday for Clash of the Castle. And then on the other channels, there's going to be stuff throughout the week as well. So just bear with me, because I run 3 different channels and I have my own business, 2 of them. And then I have jobs on the side as well. So I'm quite busy. But just bear with me on that. Let me just read everyone's comments. I don't want to leave anyone hanging. Shayna, raising MMA cage, just let them go. Yeah. Like Steve Blackman and thingy Ken Shamrock, Lion Cage. Big up Trill. Ripley versus Charlotte versus EO, Sky versus Bianca. What? What the hell kind of match is that, bro? Listen, EO's incredible, but they need to build her up. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye. See if we go. Where's the wrestling Twitter? It's on there, bro. It's literally. I told you the name of it. It's the same name as the. You're making me feel crazy now. So I don't know what's going on, but just checking it, search it. It should come up. I told you, bro. Savage Talks Wrestling, Twitter. Savage Talks Football, Twitter. That's what I do, bro. Yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Thanks to everyone coming along. Anyone who comes in later on, thank you very much. If you stick around later on and watch it and you like the video, like it. If you don't like it, piss off. It's all good. Anna, of course, you already know the vibes. See you tomorrow, Anna. We'll chop it up properly. Clash of the Castle is going to be fun. You already know the vibes. We're here for it, man. But yeah, everyone, go enjoy your day, have fun, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. I've been your boy, Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. You know what to do. Run.